Consider one touch, a handshake, that launches 200,000 nuclear bombs of rage. Imagine now that you are the cause of the apocalypse, for the simple reason that you are composed of antimatter. The fact is that antimatter cannot be touched by matter. And what if this substance built up a whole planet? How might its secret core look? And where in the world could it possibly be? Physicists are plagued by the most profound question of all. Could we, as matter-based beings, ever enter an antimatter universe? However, there is a secret that is currently ticking away inside of you. Every hour, your body produces more than 200 antimatter particles. Does that imply that we are home to a tiny antimatter world? We just discussed an explosion that is equivalent to 200,000 atomic bombs. But don't you think we should know what we're dealing with before we jump? Go back to the beginning, the Big Bang. It produced equal amounts of two types of particles. We were one half, electrons, neutrons, and protons, matter. The mirror was the other half, anti-electrons, anti-neutrons, and anti-protons, antimatter. Are they, however, complete opposites? Well, no. Physics itself would collapse if they were. They are only symmetrical in three respects, according to CPT symmetry: charge, parity, and time. For the rest of it, everything functions similarly to our universe, including the forces and energy. Consider it analogous to a square root. 4 has square roots of +2 and -2, the opposite, yet the same. However, how are these opposing particles even created? It gets weird at this point. According to quantum field theory, matter as we know it doesn't exist. Only fields exist. The fabrics of existence are infinite and unseen. Quarks are created when energy reverberates through the quark field. Photons are produced when it reverberates across the electromagnetic field. Additionally, there is an equal and opposite reaction to every action. As a result, an antiquark is produced along with a quark, opposite spin and opposite charge. Despite being negative, an antiproton has the same mass as a proton. Despite being as light as an electron, a positron, also known as an anti-electron, is positive. Then, however, the inevitable occurs. When these twins cross paths, the math is straightforward and devastating. +2 plus -2 equals 0. They disappear, devastated, and in a burst of radiation, the energy that produced them is released. Destruction. Now the question is, why did anything survive the Big Bang if they annihilate upon contact? Why is there so much matter in our universe and so little antimatter? There are two theories. The God particle is involved in the first, the Higgs boson. The theory is that more ripples were produced by the Higgs field, resulting in more normal matter. The majority of the antimatter was annihilated, but this extra stuff survived. The second theory, according to quantum physicist Neil Turok, the Big Bang was comparable to 0. To the positive numbers, our universe of matter burst forward in time, and the world of antimatter blasted backward into negative numbers. a perfect mirror speeding through time in the opposite direction from us. We would have to go back through the Big Bang to get there. It is mind-bending how we go back in time. In theory, the final obstacle must be broken: the velocity of light. Alternatively, we require a shortcut, a wormhole, a crease in the very fabric of space. Here's the issue, though. We become the ultimate bomb if we, as matter beings, simply walk through. So, is there a way? Are we going to live? Indeed, yes, there is. Antimatter is already produced at CERN. Additionally, they use magnets to imprison it. They prevent it from reaching the walls by using strong magnetic fields in a pinning trap from contacting us. Thus, the strategy is to create a magnetic force field, pure energy as a shield. And we get our energy from the very destruction we fear. You can also stand on an antimatter world for a short while. And what would you observe? A mirror. An ideal representation of our own cosmos. Antimatter makes up the skies, mountains, and trees. Don't drink the water, though, because the instant it hits your lips, its H2O, which contains negatively charged oxygen and positively charged hydrogen, would annihilate with the H2O in your body. Investigate, however. Avoid becoming starved. Did you know that the most costly material on the planet is antimatter? A country like Russia might be purchased 20 times over with just 1 gram, 62.5 trillion US dollars. Why? Due to its extreme rarity and almost impossible to produce. Nevertheless, you produce it. You, after consuming a banana. Potassium-40 is a radioactive isotope found in bananas. It releases positrons and anti-electrons as it decays. As soon as they come into contact with your electrons, they annihilate and disappear in a cloud of gamma radiation. You are a talking, walking antimatter factory powered by bananas. So, I'll leave you with one last idea. What if we were a microorganism at the ocean's bottom? It holds that the principles of crawling in the dark depths are the only laws of physics. It is unaware that there is a land world where organisms struggle against gravity in the absence of buoyancy. Are we that microbe? Are we unable to see the wider picture because we are so terrified that our physics won't work? To discover our mirror, are we prepared to go back 14 billion years? Or what if the reality is much more bizarre? What if we are the antimatter, and matter makes up the other side of the universe? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to Brainwave. Until the next time, take care.